Welcome to Strategy Simplified, the podcast bringing you the most up-to-date information on the management consulting industry. Twice a week, we bring you updates and tips on case interviews, the consulting industry, including salaries, $100,000 plus job opportunities, and tools to help you upskill for life on the job. Last week, we shared 8 tips for case interview math. And this week, we're going just a little deeper by sharing a short clip from last year's Case Math Intensive. What is a Case Math Intensive? Well, it's a 3-hour live training on how to crush mental math inside the case interview. The interactive training is led by an ex-McKinsey consultant and trainer. The link to join our next Math Intensive, coming up Tuesday, August 16th from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern, is in the show notes. All right, we're going to take a quick pause to hear from our sponsor before diving right in. Enjoy. The world's most influential companies look to LEK Consulting to enable growth, prepare for the future, and increase their impact. If you're ready to be a part of a top strategy consultancy, the firm is actively looking to add to its team of 1,800 consultants across 20 global offices. At LEK, you'll work on a wide variety of business problems to help clients solve their most pressing issues, from revenue growth to M&A to performance improvement and more. In addition, you'll gain exposure to a range of industries and problem types, resulting in world-class career progression opportunities. Ready to start making an impact from day one? Learn more about current opportunities and apply today at lek.com or click the link in this episode's show notes.
Case interviews are time-bound, and there is a particular calculation I want you to do here. There's a particular conclusion or recommendation perspective that I want you to have based on the question that I've asked you. And this is why it's so important to start with the recap, because there's so many different dynamic factors going on here. And this is a complexity of bringing 4-month project engagement and boiling that down into a 30-minute case interview situation. Well, of course, all those other dynamics matter. Of course, you're going to go into all of that detail with the client. Of course, there's other data and information that you want to know. Yet in this moment, I'm giving you quantitative information because I want you to do a math problem. I want you to do some sort of calculation. First step that we didn't even talk about, right? This kind of step 0 is just identifying. When I give you quantitative information in the context of a case interview, I want you to identify that as a math problem, and I want you to know and believe I'm going to expect you to do some math. I'm always surprised when I do case workshops and case coaching, how often people feel like they can get away with not doing any math. I'm just going to kind of tell you what I think based on the numbers that you give me. And, it does seem a little high, and that's like going to be my answer. No, like if I give you quantitative information, if I put a chart or graph in front of you, I'm expecting you to do some calculations. That's step 0. So I give you the prompt. It's not going to be labeled as a math question, right? You're going to dynamically go through quantitative and non-quantitative questions over the duration of the case. But step 0 is I identify this as a math problem because I've been given a prompt and or quantitative data points newly that help me understand that I'm probably am I going to need to do some calculations here, or am I going to do brainstorming here? That's your first delineation. All right, I've put it in the math bucket. I'm listening carefully and closely to what is the key objective I'm trying to solve. And then first thing out of my mouth is I'm recapping. And then I'm talking through my structure, I'm solving through the calculations, and then I'm layering on insights. How do you break that down in terms of next steps in practice? I want you to start to recap with other people, right? Have a idea here that you need somebody to read it to you out loud. You need somebody to read it to you out loud.
We'll be right back after this quick message from our sponsor. Palmtree is one of the world's top consulting and advisory firms focused exclusively on the world of M&A and private equity. Palmtree supports clients through the entire private equity investment lifecycle, from financial due diligence to finance transitions to long-term business transformations and transactions. The firm's model is a hybrid of investment banking, consulting, and accounting. Sound like the perfect fit for you? The firm is hiring now for all experience levels across its offices in Los Angeles, Chicago, Detroit, and Dallas for its 3 service lines: financial due diligence, consulting, and investment banking. If you're looking to develop a unique skill set, receive world-class training, and work for a dynamic firm, apply today. Explore open roles at the link in this episode's show notes, or go to the careers page at palmtreellc.com.
So when you have a set of information to start with, perhaps you are in a program right now where you have access to a casebook, or that you have purchased access to the management consultant platform, et cetera. Open up these prompts, like get somebody that you love, like, or that cares about you in front of them, and have them read them to you. Just practicing the recap part doesn't require somebody with a depth of knowledge and experience to keep the conversation going. But you can practice the recap and the note taking with almost anybody, right? The structure part, you can also practice talking through your structure. Now, here's where then when you go through and we're thinking about these structure and solve components, it's going to be more important that you start to find and utilize case practice partners who are also in this world, who are going through this right now. And even better, if you have it and can find people who have been through this process before, utilizing your network, your broader network, whether that be through a consulting club or, with our Black Belt program, we have folks that pair up and do case coaching. We obviously have our case coaches who are all ex-MBB interviewers. But when you actually want to chew on a problem with somebody, you want to continue to practice out loud, and you want to try and move towards getting with a partner, and the recognizing the pieces of this that you could practice with just anybody versus the qualities of a good partner where they're actually knowledgeable about this process, even if they haven't given an interview before, even if you're both just in the interview process preparation right now. The benefit of that versus just practicing by yourself is astronomical. And best practice here is going to be that you have multiple live partners. So the more experience, the better, again, of course, but the dynamic differences of being able to practice with folks with different natural approaches is going to be helpful to you, because, game day, you're going into the interview, you don't know what personality and style and type that person's going to have. Yes, there's going to be kind of a targeted approach they have based on the firm delivery style of their company's approach to the case interview. But you can end up with, a bubbly blonde giving you one interview, and you can end up with a hardened, ex-military guy giving you the next interview. Like, having some variety in the different, in the way that you are practicing. And this is, of course, goes for the entire case prep process, is going to be super important. But I really, really, really want to push you guys and imprint upon you that even when you're just focused on math, like, that's not, you're not going to be well-rounded and fully prepared just practicing by yourself in a vacuum.
Thanks for listening today. If you recognize that you might need help with your mental math, register for the Case Math Intensive. The 3-hour live training is on August 16th from 6 to 9 Eastern. The session will be recorded if you are unable to attend live. The link to save your seat is in the show notes. Only a few spots remain, so grab your virtual spot as soon as possible. Thanks again for listening to Strategy Simplified. Hey, Strategy Simplified. It's Japheth here, the show's producer. And before we let you go today, I'm going to read a review that one of our listeners, left on Apple Podcasts. And today, we got a review from Haley Glenn. Haley, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to go to Apple Podcasts, rate and review the podcast, because you just won yourself a free course from Management Consulted. So we'll be in touch with you to make sure you get that. And folks, if you want that same chance, all you have to do, open up iTunes or the Apple Podcasts app, go to Strategy Simplified, rate and review us, and then send us an email to let us know. podcast@managementconsulted.com. And you'll be entered to win a free course. Okay, so here's what Haley had to say. The title is Great Podcast. And she says, This podcast taught me so much about the basics of the case interview when I was first starting out and didn't know what to do. I'm so grateful for the episode deep dives into different parts of the case interview and the example interviews with real candidates. Thank you, Strategy Simplified. No, Haley, thank you for taking the time to leave a review. It really does help the show out. It boosts it in the ratings so more people can see it and listen to it and get this great content that we've been cranking out for you day and night. So without further ado, that's all I have for today. I'm going to let you go, get back to your day. But thank you for being a faithful listener of Strategy Simplified. Remember, if you want a chance to win a free course, all you have to do, leave that rating and review, then send us an email to let us know. podcast@managementconsultant.com.